The screenplay was sent to me by Scott Rudin, the producer. I'd said to him I was looking for something original, something different, and he took me at my word, and The Truman Show arrived. And my first question to him was, who is this Andrew Niccol? And, you know, the screenwriter, and turned out to be a New Zealander, of all things. And in his early 30s, and gone on to direct Gattaca and so on. My second question was, who could possibly play Truman? And fortunately, it was to be Jim Carrey, and there was never anybody else. And I waited quite a long time for him. He was committed to other films. And I had seen Ace Ventura, and I thought, what a wonderful idea. What an original piece of casting, because of his unique qualities. I mean, people often said to me, don't you think it was daring, or at the time they said, you know, to be taking someone who was known for his comic talent and put him in a serious film. And I didn't see a barrier to that, perhaps because I'd worked with Robin Williams and Dead Poets Society and had the same question asked. He was clearly bright, he was intelligent, he was had a very interesting take on the character, and in fact made it completely his own.
Good morning!
Morning!
Good morning.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
I suggested to him that we could do scenes in the bathroom mirror. This would be an interesting moment for the audience watching the movie. They would love these mirror moments, as I called them. Next time I dropped into his house, he'd drawn all over his mirrors, and there were characters that he became and did this sort of one-man show. It was fantastic.
I hereby proclaim this planet Trumania of the Burbank Galaxy.
So a combination of the serious, thoughtful side and his comic abilities. Because above all, Truman had to be entertaining. I mean, part of the logic would be that the show was entertaining and that he could make you laugh as much as he might touch you in some way.
This is my favorite pizza place.
Tony, one large extra plankton.
We've so little time. They're gonna be here any minute.
Who are?
They don't want me talking to you.
Then don't talk.
Well, I was grateful for the year waiting for Jim, because in that period Andrew Niccol and I took the screenplay apart and put it back together several times, and constantly paying attention to the logic of it. There was hardly a question, I think, that anyone could ask me that I didn't know by the time we began pre-production in terms of the logic. I thought if we don't have the logical right, you know, in other words, the audience would be unable to believe that this could have happened, even if it is set in the future of fantasy. Because I thought if the audience does not go with it, then, you know, obviously they'll say this couldn't happen and the whole film will fold. And that became, I think, almost a kind of obsession with me. And probably was the reason that I thought at one stage about playing the part of Christof, the creator of the show, because I think to some extent I was turning into Christof. In fact, in pre-production meetings and things, I would say, Christof would never permit that, you know. Christof wouldn't like that. Here I have to say, hats off to Ed Harris. He had very little time to prepare for this part, just a few days. It was amazing to see how quickly he found that character.
Easy on the fog. Stand by Crane Cam. Crane Cam. Button Cam 3.
Move on, Tricolosa.
No. Back. Fade up music. And now going close.
Dad.
Great job.
Bravo!
We shot in a town which, seaside in Florida, which is pretty much as you see it. We added some buildings in the town square with CGI. But substantially, if you visited this town, you would feel the location that you see in the film. It's a startling experiment, really. And it is an experiment. The local homeowners are passionate about where they live. And kids play in the street, and, you know, some people criticize it as being sort of like a Saturday Evening Post kind of community, but I didn't see it that way, and we lived there. The town played the part of a villain in the story. and I had to reassure the town elders that it was only playing a part.
Truman, did you see this?
But apart from that, you know, it's in a kind of very original escape story.
Oh, Truman, you know you can't drive over water. Just go home where you'll feel safe.
Give me your hand.
Sweetie.
Drive.
Truman! We shouldn't be doing this, Truman! We're breaking the law! Oh, my! Ah! We're over the bridge!
We're over!
I mean, there were certain themes that preoccupied me more than others. You know, comments on the media, for example, are pretty obvious. But particularly, I think I was interested in the question of the blurring of the line between reality and unreality. You know, as you see with the audience watching the show, they've either forgotten Truman as a, you know, example of gross exploitation, or else they don't care.
For God's sake, Chris, the whole world is watching. We can't let him die in front of a live audience.
He was born in front of a live audience.
And you're a prisoner of the life with which you are surrounded. That's why the question was a very important one in the interview with Christof. Why hasn't Truman questioned his life before now? Asks the interviewer. And Christof replies, we accept the reality with which we're presented. And I thought that was a telling point for those listening.
Here's us at Mount Rushmore. Do you remember, Truman, when Dad was still with us? That was quite a drive. You slept the whole way there.
It looks so small.
But it seemed right that he walked off into the darkness, into the unknown, into the difficulty of life. And that was very apropos of that last conversation with Christof, where he offered him security within his confines of his world, whatever that might have been, the deal they made. And that outside there were no guarantees. And of course that's what we call life.
In case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.